But speaking of football, the NFL draft was held in Detroit, and fans there smashed the attendance record. The NBA All-Star Game hasn't been hosted by Detroit since 1959 in the Olympia Stadium, and the last time the All-Star Game was played in Michigan was in 1979 in the Pontiac Silverdome. The earliest Detroit could host the NBA All-Star Game would be in the year 2028. Do you think the NFL draft accelerated the NBA's plans to let Detroit host the All-Star Game? Do you think that plays a factor in it at all?
No, the
Okay.
team's not good.
Well,
The Lions are on the come up. That's why everyone loves them. If we held it in 2028 and we made another 30 loss losing streak record of whatever for the Pistons, no one's going to show up to that. I think it depends on the success of the team. You can't. We're not. If they host, it'd be great. Yeah, it's great for the city of Detroit. But if the team's not good, no one's going to go to it. I don't think anybody will care. I
Ah,
mean, my hot take, like I just because the Lions made the NFC Championship game. I think they have something to root for. They have a reason to be there. I think maybe if the Pistons become a 4 or 5 seed by the time 2028 comes around and they can make a run to something, then sure that'll be popular. But I don't think the All Star game. I don't think that's a destination for them just because of the success of the Pistons.
I think if you're the NBA, you're looking like, okay, the NFL just made a ton of money as fans just came out for this event just to watch guys walk across the stage. That's all it was. We are providing entertainment in the form of a game. And I think Detroit sports fans are some of the best sports fans there are out there. Even though the Pistons only won 14 games, they average like 18,000 people a game. I mean, this is a city that is starving for good basketball. In the All-Star game, provides better entertainment than what the Detroit Pistons provide. I think if the NBA were to host the All-Star game in Detroit, I don't think it would be record breaking, but I think it would be a sold out event for the All-Star weekend.
Oh yeah. Um, I don't know. I I mean, I've for the most part, my life I've been a lifelong Detroiter. I own a business in Detroit. Um, the NFL draft was in a concentrated block, right, area. There's other. So I put the link in the chat where the NBA released new requirements for the All Star game. You got to
Yep.
have 7,250 hotel rooms and 3 5-star hotels. I don't believe. I think we only have maybe one if you count Shinola. I don't know if the Westin Book is considered a 5-star hotel. So I don't know if they mean within the confines of the city, right? Because if that's the case, we're definitely not doing that. And then the other thing that's a major blow for Detroit is the airport's 35, 40 minutes away.
Mm,
That's a significant blow. When the committee, I think Avery Johnson is on the committee that actually, I think he spearheads it, that looks at cities that have these type of events and stuff like that. When you put them on the flight and then you tell them, oh, wait 40 minutes before we get to the city, he's gonna be like, what's going on, right? And then you can't just show him like one block of campus marches and things like that. You got to show them the whole city. And yeah, so I don't want to be a Debbie Downer, but
no, you're good.
let me just say that the hole is in front of LCA still. Like that was supposed to be a hotel, is still there. There was supposed to be a hotel connected to Ford Field too, and the Ford family was just like, we was just playing with you. We're not putting that Ford. Yeah. So like, and when you go, you can go to Ford Field and still see remnants of where that hotel was supposed to be. So, um, I don't think it matters anymore because All Star Game is just not illustrious. It's just a big marketing
True.
event, Nike, Adidas, and things like that. So I don't think it holds on to what it does with our childhood. It's like, oh man, I wish. And then lastly, I want to mention the snow. We could get a snowstorm tonight in Detroit, and the
This
All
is
Star
true.
Game in February. But
Yeah.
um, yeah, I don't think it matters. So those are all the good things. But the positive things for it is it hasn't been here in a long time. NBA likes to showcase things. When I talked to a Pistons rep, one of their biggest things to move downtown was now they get the international fan base because you can take the Detroit Windsor Transit, the bus, right over from Canada. So you'll get those Windsor fans and things like that. So there's a lot of positives too, but man, there are a lot of drawbacks too when you start looking at it.
Yeah, I'm glad you sent that article because I was just reading it as you were talking. Yeah, you got to have a 650,000 square foot convention center. I don't know if Detroit
We
actually
ours
has
is
that or not.
like 800. The old Cobo Hall. It keeps
Okay.
changing the name. It's like it's like 800 square. Like that. That's not the issue, but it's not close to LCA. It's not walking distance. And if you want to take the
See,
queue line, keep waiting, my friend. Keep waiting.
yeah, I mean, I still think the NFL draft did. I think when you see 750,000 people show up for an event like
Yeah.
that, if you're another professional sports league, you're like, I got to get some of that money. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that's what it comes down to. But there's a lot, like Adak is saying, there's a lot that stacks up against
Yeah.
LCA hosting the All Star event. But